This is Abia COVID-19 update. Abia COVID-19 update.
Well, the lockdowns are rising in some countries, including Nigeria, as other countries brace for the accelerated spread of COVID-19. In Africa and beyond, and also right here in Abia State, we must not overlook a proven response to stop the coronavirus from doing its worst. The COVID-19 pandemic is a school where you learn new things and unlearn what may have become obsolete. So truly, we're on the course being led by COVID-19, trying to know this awesome foe that has shut down our world. The symptoms of COVID-19 generally include cough, sneezing, loss of taste, appetite, and a sense of smell, diarrhea, severe fatigue, muscle pain, restlessness or confusion, severe fever, intestinal pain, and respiratory difficulty, among others. And let me remind you the precautionary measures again. Frequently wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. When soap and running water are unavailable, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. When soap and running water are unavailable again, I say use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your eyes, your nose or your mouth with unwashed hands, and also practice good respiratory etiquette, including covering coughs and sneezes. It's very important. Clean objects you touch a lot. Use disinfectants on objects like your telephones, your computers, and doorknobs, and use soap and water for objects that you cook or eat with, utensils and dishware. This is Abia State COVID-19 update. It is the third edition for the week, today being the 5th of August 2020. My name is Michael Oni. On this program, we highlight daily reports of the Interministerial Committee on the Control of COVID-19 in Abia State, as well as the governor's efforts, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, in ensuring that the state is safe from the virus. This program is running simultaneously every weekday, Mondays through Fridays, on several radio stations in the state: BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM. Also in Abba, that's the commercial capital of the state, we're live on Bars 89.7 FM and Real 99.1 FM. Let me bring you up to date on figures and updates on coronavirus globally. The global number of deaths is now at 704,438. That's as at 8 a.m. today. Meanwhile, the total number of infections worldwide is at 18.7 million, just to approximate it. Also, the number of recovered cases at 11.9 million. Amid fears of widespread of coronavirus infections among voters, Sri Lankans will head to polls today to choose a new parliament. That's what is happening in that country. While at home here in Nigeria, the country recorded 304 more cases of the novel coronavirus, bringing its total infection to 44,433. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control disclosed that yesterday on its Twitter handle. The new cases were reported in Lagos, the Federal Capital Territory, and 17 other states of the Federation. The FCT topped the list with 90 new infections. Lagos reported 59 cases, new cases, and of course it went down. Ondo State with 39, Taraba State with 18, Rivers State with 17, and of course some other states. Meanwhile, the total number of 31,851 people have been discharged after recovering from the dreaded disease. Welcome once again. It is Abia State COVID-19 update. Let's go straight to the discussion for today. We have the state epidemiologist, Abia State epidemiologist, Lady Peace Nwogogo, very much in the studio, joining me live this morning. Good morning to you, Lady Peace.
Good morning, Mike.
Well, it's been a while. You must have been very busy. Welcome back to the show.
You're welcome, sir.
We'd like you to bring us up to speed on what is happening, especially as you've been very busy concerning community testing that is ongoing in several local governments in Abia State.
Okay, thank you so much. You know, before now, when the cases started rising, and now there was this plan to ease the lockdown.
Yes.
Yeah, governor gave us the mandate to go into the communities and look for cases, identify cases for the purpose of When you identify, you isolate them, manage them properly, look for their contacts, also test the contacts and all that. And these are all geared towards carrying up the sample collection activities and testing. And once testing is scaled up, you'll be able to find more cases.
Yes.
And with that, it also helps in the surveillance for COVID. And because we have to remove these stringent measures like this total lockdown and all that, so it became so imperative that we do that. And that has been ongoing. This is the third week. It was flagged up at Omahia South. Yes, with Omahia North. Then Isialang the first week. Then the last week was Uguna, Bo, Umunochi, and Osisi Omangwa. Then this week now, since Monday, yesterday, and today, we are at Ohofia, Abia South, and Okwa East. And so far, it has been progressing well.
What has been the turnout like?
Yes, the first week, it was not encouraging. But with more awareness, because once you go into the community, people who do not know will begin to know. Because we go there, we sensitize people more. So last week and this week, there's been a lot of improvement. And people are beginning, though people also has their reservations, people don't want to come up, but at least it's improved now. It's no longer as it used to be.
Okay.
And so far, we've been able, through this activity, up to more than 1,000 persons has been tested.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so far.
More than 1,000 persons.
Yeah.
We've seen the results in some of the latest data from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, where Abia State will have sometimes 30 new cases reported in a day.
Yes. Now, from the data and the number of samples tested, the positivity rate has drastically reduced. Because when you have maybe 203 persons tested, you get 20, and you have 54, you get 1. You see that it's been reducing. And from the results so far from this community activity, it really shows that the positivity is not as much as we feared before we embarked on this exercise. So, this exercise now will now bring us to bear to know actually the level of transmission in the communities. So it's very encouraging.
That's a good news, very encouraging. But it doesn't mean that we should throw all caution to the wind.
No. It makes us to understand where we are, and knowing the status of people. Others will want to come and know their own status, because once you know your status on time, maybe it's positive, and you get treatment on time, then your contacts also, you will be able to identify them.
Those that had contact with you.
Yes, because you must have had contact. You have family, you have friends, you have colleagues at work. Okay. Once you are positive, you identify your contacts, follow up on them. Those that we are classified as high contacts, high risk contacts, those that have come in close contact with that person, will quantify the risk. Those ones that we quantify that are classified as high risk, we also test them. And these are the primary contacts. If peradventure this contact tests positive, we also trace that contact, also contacts, and you get the secondary contacts. By so doing, everybody in the web of this transmission will be identified. Then when you identify them, you will now isolate them from the rest of the population, the healthier population. Manage these ones, treat them symptomatically. They will be nursed back to life. And when you go back to the community, you see that they're returning to the community healthy, healthier than they left the community. So that is why it's not good to stigmatize persons who have been identified to be COVID positive. Because when they have been positive, they'll be treated and they go back. They're no longer positive. They'll go back healthier than they left the community.
Okay, we've seen situations where survivors in Abia State are coming out to tell their stories. A good one, I will say. But despite survivors coming out to tell their stories so as to inspire people to keep abiding by the precautionary measures, we're still seeing people, Abians, on the streets of Abia State throwing caution to the wind, not following the precautionary measures, not stepping out of their houses with the use of their face mask, not abiding by the social distancing rules.
Yeah, the campaign will not stop. You don't expect everybody to follow in the same pace. There are some who will always continue to doubt, but we continue the gospel, the message. We are all in this together. Everybody is a crusader of this message. That is why this response is a whole of community, whole of society, whole of government.
Okay, I would like to take you on the pact of malaria. We've seen a upsurge, although with unproven data now, that unproven statistics, there is no genuine statistics to back this claim now. But we've seen an upsurge in malaria cases recently. And some persons are saying that the kind of COVID-19 that we have in Nigeria is quite different from the type of COVID-19 affecting some other countries we've seen in the news. And they're saying what is happening in the country is just a mere malaria. Some are even attributing it to maize. They say when you have new maize, you have an upsurge in malaria. You have an upsurge in people getting infected with the malaria.
That thing is not verified. It's not factual. In the first place, new maize does not cause malaria. It's not related in any way. You can, because my maize does not malaria. You know the causative agent. It has nothing to do with maize.
That's a plasmodium.
Good, yeah. It's not. It's not. There's no relation between new maize and malaria. And then this claim of upsurge in malaria cases now is because they are not tested and there are no data backing it. So it could still be, if these ones who think they had malaria are tested of COVID, they might test positive. Because people have these symptoms, and because these symptoms of COVID are similar to symptoms of malaria, because it has fever, it has cough.
It's also similar to symptoms of common flu.
Yeah.
That's the cold.
Good. So people will mistake it for malaria, and when they treat malaria, God willing, it will resolve. But the virus may still persist in their systems. And because they were not tested of COVID, they will continue to claim that it is malaria that they really suffered from.
Okay, Lady Peace, I'm so worried about our holding facilities at the police stations and also the correctional centers. Have you been able to test majority of those using those facilities, especially the inmates?
Yes. 2 weeks ago, all the inmates at the state CID were tested.
And some came back positive?
Yes, some came positive. And because we won't want to take them to the isolation center, because we don't have the kind of security that we will need, nobody will man them there.
Okay.
So they were separated and kept at the state CID. And our medical team, when visited them, reviewed them, and also gave them the appropriate drugs. Then the last week also, we also went to CPS. So their results are just coming out now. So we'll also take measures.
And some are coming back positive.
Some will, definitely. So we also take the measures to also give them the appropriate treatment they require.
All right. It is still Abia State COVID-19 update, live on several radio stations in this state, both in Umuahia, the capital of the state, and also Aba, the commercial hub of the state. We'll take a break now. When we return, I would like to take Lady Peace Unwagogo, the Abia State epidemiologist, very much here with me in the studio, on what is being put in place to ensure a successful return of those in the exit classes back to school to take their examinations, both international and national examinations.
This is Abia COVID-19 update. Abia COVID-19 update.
It is still Abia State COVID-19 update, live on several radio stations in the state. We'll take a look at issues surrounding COVID-19 in the state and what the Interministerial Committee on COVID-19 set up by the government and also the governor is doing to ensure that we break the chain of transmission of coronavirus in God's own state. According to the fact sheets from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, data as at the 4th of August 2020, we have the total confirmed cases in Abia State standing at 602, while the number of discharged cases at 471. So we still have about 126 total active cases of coronavirus in the state. Well, we still have here very much in the studio Lady Peace Nwogogo, the Abia State epidemiologist, of course, ensuring that we have a COVID-19 free state. Lady Peace, we've been talking about some of the development concerning coronavirus, and of course what you are doing to ensure that the community testing is ongoing in the state. Let's look at the education sector now. The governor gave a charge during the week that there are some guidelines that should be followed by the schools, especially fumigations and of course to a disinfection of some of the properties, equipment being used in the school premises. How far have you been able to go?
Yes, because before this, we return our children to normal classes and to prepare them for this exam. It is imperative and very necessary that we make the school environment safe for them. So the contamination exercise has been, I think they have started to decontaminate all our schools, their classrooms and the surroundings. We do the contamination against the virus. Then the fumigation is for pests, because these schools have been closed for a while, so there's possibility of rodent and insect infestation in the school classrooms and the school environment. So it's necessary that we add the activities to make the schools free from these pests and these rodents. And at the same time, we'll do the contamination disinfection against the viruses, to do the surfaces, the classrooms, and the environment.
There are some persons that are needed to be tested for coronavirus.
Yes,
like the teachers and the administrators.
Yes, they
and
have
the school
even
principals.
started. Since yesterday, we had a lot of them come to because the ones that have, we are in this community testing exercise. So the teachers who are close to this LGS, they have been coming. Then our center at Amachara is still open for teachers who are living around Omahia.
Okay.
Those around Aba area, they have been going to Aba South. We're also encouraging them now, please, to go to Aba South if you are within Aba area, to get tested, and we'll ensure that their results will be released within the week, because these ones, we will analyze them at our laboratory and ensure prompt release of results, so that any teacher returning to school on Monday will know the person's status. If maybe a teacher tests positive, we will separate that person. That person will not go back to the class. Because if maybe we allow everybody to go back to class, we don't know who has this virus. Because Koro no the show for face. And then we infect our children, they will go back to the homes and probably infect their parents, even aged ones. So it is necessary that they have this opportunity, come to FMC, come to our centers, Abia Hospital at Amachara, and this LGS. And we're also arranging centers for people who cannot visit this LGS. So,
I would like to ask you this very important question this morning. Is there an end in sight to this coronavirus pandemic ravaging the world? We want to see an end very soon so that we get back to our normal lives.
No, we'll learn to live with this new normal. In fact, the surveillance for COVID is now going to be a routine surveillance, just like we do surveillance for other diseases, like we do for measles, we've been doing for polio, though we've been giving this polio-free status. So we are going to continue, because it has come into human race. It has come, and there is no vaccine for it yet.
Okay.
There is no specific treatment, medicine for it, drug for it. So it has come into us. So we learn to live with it. We learn to at least practice these measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Because the surest way is to observe these measures. One, hygiene, hand hygiene. Covering of living with our face mask when we are with other people.
Okay.
Just like I am here, you see, I'm still wearing my face mask.
Yes, mine
I don't
is
even
here,
know your. I don't know your status.
I need to talk so that my voice will come out.
I don't know your status, so I have to wear it. And also, if you don't have need to maybe miss avoid large crowd.
Okay.
Avoid large crowd.
Okay, I will throw the lines open now to take one or two calls before we wrap up the program this morning. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You have 30 seconds. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
Yes, you're welcome.
Good morning, our guest.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Stanley from Omar.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I want to ask a question. If that a woman is breastfeeding a baby, unfortunately, the woman just contact the COVID-19, what next can the woman do about his baby and himself?
All right.
Okay, a nursing mother, right?
Yes, a nursing mother.
Who tested positive to the virus.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the nursing mother, maybe your worry is, do we separate the nursing mother from the baby? So what we'll do in this regard is that this nursing mother will be adequately taken care of. Then the child also will also be subject to tests, because children also have been known to also get infected with coronavirus.
Okay.
But first of all, we must, if it's possible, we separate the mother from the baby if the baby is negative.
All right.
So we don't infect that baby.
All right. I want to appreciate your time this morning, Lady Peace Nwogogo. Thank you very much for your time on the program Abia State COVID-19 Update. The program returns tomorrow, which is it's going to be the 4th edition. The program runs weekdays, Mondays through Fridays. Thank you very much. Many thanks to the partner radio stations, BCA, Flow FM, Vision Africa Radio, Buzz FM, and Real FM. My name is Michael Oni. Stay safe and take responsibility.
This is Abia COVID-19 Update. Abia COVID-19 Update.